if you want to see it. Do you realize that if I listen to these consultants, if I listen to these firms that exist now to tell you exactly how to profit off of new media content, to be clear, there's a business, and the model is create nothing because it costs money, it costs resources to create.
That's not you. That's not you either. Also not you, okay? This isn't you. That's not you, Steven. This isn't you either. Again, I don't think Hillary was on the show. You're reacting. I know I don't cover Crowder as much, mostly because like the fact that he's just like falling apart and just plummeting in his view counts and support and general likability. Like everyone just kind of fucking hates Steven Crowder. Even the right, they're all like, he's just this weirdo pervert who pulls his balls out and tries to put them on everyone's faces, and he just sucks and he falsely accuses you of shit. And then you can do nice things to him. You can come up to Steven Crowder and be like, hey, Steven, do you want like $50 million to have like your racist show? Did you want that? And then he'll be like, haha, I secretly recorded you and I'll expose you. You're a big tech, big right, yeah, haha, you're part of the pedophile cult. I was like, that's weird though, because I offered you $50 million. That's a weird response. Most people would be like, thank you, that's cool, but no, you're all angry about that shit. Weird. So yeah, he sucks. He's real shit. He's also abusive, both to his staff, to his wife, to people around him, full-on abuser, sexually abusive to his staff, could be even worse in terms of, you know, more and more stories as they come out, they seem to be pretty fucked up. But forget everything I just said. There's a clean slate. We're erasing.
That's not really what I want to talk about right now. Clean Slate is an initiative that we're starting here. And I ask that you consider joining us. Let's start with this.
Is it always a grift every time? Like, every single fucking right-winger will pick a cause, pick a thing. Quartering's been doing this on a weekly basis for a while. They'll even add a hashtag. This time it's hashtag clean slate, hashtag true patriots, hashtag real battle, hashtag milk cum. And then all of a sudden people will be like, oh shit, what did something happen? Cause, you know? And it's like, yeah, it's a cause. I'm asking you to join my cause, our cause. It's the cause is righteous, you know?
What are we doing?
Money?
What are we doing? I mean, what is everyone doing with our lives here and how we use these tools? You're watching this probably on one of the platforms, hopefully Rumble or Mug Club, maybe YouTube. But you may, at one point, you would see a clip on Instagram. And by God, hopefully that 10 seconds gets into that timeline, along with chicks dancing in yoga pants, selling you products that they don't use to develop a body you won't have and live a lifestyle that you'll never live.
What are we doing here? Honestly, come on, my friends. Holy shit. Let's get some lighting. Finally can take advantage of this. Hold on. Bam. Oh, it's bread tubey in here. Feels great. A little more bisexual. But seriously, what the fuck are we? What are we doing? What are we honestly doing at this moment in time? What are we doing? What are you up to? How's your day? How's your day going? Is it good? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, on that old stuff. Hashtag milk cum. Remember, only you can prevent it or increase it.
And we're feeding this machine. This is the feedback that I get from so many of you is you feel like you're in a rat race. You feel like a hamster on a wheel. And it used to be...
Actually, this plays right into the story I was going to do on the big quit, which is taking place... Okay, this is actually some real shit. Have you not seen how there's all these major YouTubers, massive ones, the people who are making millions and millions of dollars, in fact, people who have such massive empires that they can't really quit, because if they quit, well, then it's like 20 to 50 to 100 people lose their jobs. So it's like, well, I'm going to quit, but I'm going to just pass on the torch so other people will keep this thing going. MatPat from The Game Theory or Movie Theory, all those, you might not watch him if you're like an older viewer. But if you are like someone who's been growing up on the internet or been using the internet their whole lives or stuff like that, most likely you know about game theory. He started out by making these videos where all of a sudden it would be like, I'm going to actually measure in like work out what the difference is between the inches, the centimeters, the kilometers, and how far Super Mario jumps when he jumps, so I can actually tell you how big the levels are in real time if I was to convert. Like just nerdy, neat ideas like that, where like I would like it. I would be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. How high does Super Mario actually jump? I would like to know. It means nothing. It's nonsense. It's basically like what is the color of feelings, but it's still kind of like, sure, this sounds fun. My jam. That exploded into an empire. He's one of the biggest YouTubers ever. He quit. He's quitting. He's already made his quit video. I was going to play some of that one. Same thing with Meat Canyon. Meat Canyon, probably, I would say, the biggest animator on YouTube, maybe, like in terms of someone who just does animations, and then those animations go viral, and then he makes fun of all these other big content creators. They're all very haunting and creepy, and you know, for the most part, they're pretty scathing too. To get Meat Canyon, dude, pretty intense. So they're quitting. They're both quitting YouTube. The reasons aren't like ukuleles either. It's not people coming out there and being like, well, the sixth person to accuse me of, you know, sexually assaulting a kid may not be lying. Actually, the first 5 were, as I promised and told you, my fans. But the other ones, no, don't worry, I'm innocent. Or like the James Somertons, where it's just like you probably should have just gone away a long time. Like people were telling you repeatedly, what you're doing is wrong, this is bad, stop. But he's just, I can't help myself, but I'm a genius, and people need to know that I'm a genius. And say, nah, it's kind of just like someone who hates asexuals and bisexuals and pines. Like, you're one of those like hateful queers, you know, just the worst kind, the hateful queer who doesn't like the other groups, who doesn't like other people joining, or all of a sudden it's like, well, do we really need trans people inside the rainbow? I mean, is that even a sexuality? And it's like, well, it's all connected. You understand that, right? The same thing was said towards it. Anyways, probably best if he went away for a long time. But Steven Crowder, I guess maybe is flirting with that idea, that whole like, or the whole thing is once again a grift, right? It's to get some of that sweet money.
Once upon a time, this is kind of the fundamental change I think that's taken place in this country and really across the world. People used to create content, or people used to use social media, used to create the content and hopefully reach the people who they felt it served. It was relevant to them. Now we live in a world where that's not the business. As a matter of fact, you're discouraged from that. And you're discouraged as a consumer from using these platforms that way. We now have people who aggregate content that they didn't make to try and reach an audience they don't care about through feeding a machine, which we call an algorithm. And all that means is it's an artificial brain. It's not even human. And it determines what you see and what you consume. This is why you feel like you're stuck.
Wouldn't this be groundbreaking in like 2000? In the year 2000. In the year It's like they're gonna have these computers, but they won't be the size of rooms, or they'll fit inside your pocket and stuff, and they're all powered by other computers in parts of the world we don't even know, and those will be connected to more computers, and then in order to make these entire networks of human beings connected to one another, to facilitate that, they're actually gonna need deep think and learning and AI programs that gets like feed us things, so we're addicted to it, and we'll see more. Like, it's like, yeah, no. Dog, we know. Oh, bruh. No. Yeah. So, we're in deep. Yeah. No. So we all know that. Yeah. Like this is one of the most like self-aware addictions I've ever had in my life. You know, where you look down and you're like, yeah, this is not making me happy. I do not love this. No, for sure. But just one more. This is definitely going to be the reload that like, oh, that sweet slot machine feeling. Oh, look at that. Look at that flooding in Ecuador. Oh, I knew it. I knew I'd see something that would engage me, give me some dopamine, some serotonin in that moment. Oh, and someone's replied to something. Hold on. Whoa, it's another big content creator. Whoa, I sure am upset, anxious, nervous, not feeling great. Next one will change that. Just one more refresh, and I'll be good. Yeah.
In a rat race, it's an entire industry of appealing to an artificial brain that doesn't even exist.
By the way, have all of you given homage to the brain today? Have you all paid tribute come on. I don't want to fuck around. I love all of you. Chats, all of you. Come on. Dude, we got to be safe. You got to be powerful lefties. I keep saying this. Just maximize yourselves. Yeah, exercise, clean up your room. Be awesome and friendly and empathetic to one another. But also pay the brain.
Let me just kind of break this down for you too, and something to think about. Social media is a term that people use.
I've heard of this.
And I want to get into how this is a tool. Right. Tools are meant to serve you. That's not where we are right now.
Oh.
And I'll just let you know right off the bat here, clean slate. If you go to my Instagram or my Twitter right now, everything is gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've wiped everything. A little secret.
Is there any other reason for that? You didn't take down all the drag that you did you? You love drag. I don't know if you've all seen this. Steven dresses in drag, and then he performs in front of children, and he gets his co-workers to jerk him off in public. You think I'm doing a bit right now. None of this is a bit. You dress in drag, made out with a coworker, and then in a separate scene, if you zoom in on the whole penis region, you'll see that coworker jerking him off through his pants. Yes, I'm not going to say to completion. That obviously goes right to the next scene, but some would say, because there's a lot of kids visible in that footage, that is child abuse and the kind of thing that like a lot of the right are super upset about. You know, the whole like drag queen. They're just mad at them for existing. In the case of Steven, like he's just fully just having himself a time in public.
Journalists do this at New York Times, at Washington Post, because they want to evade accountability. We're doing this that hopefully you can follow suit, and we will move forward using these platforms as the tools that were designed to serve us, not you serving them.
So here's what's going down. And I will preface this with, fuck you, Glenn Greenwald, because you have really contributed a lot to this as well. Because, you've helped spread the false consciousness. You were covering it from the other angle. If people are suddenly recognizing problems with, say, capitalism, monopolization, the corporatization of tech and social media, and our lives, just our fucking interacting with each other, the thing that human beings used to do without all these computers and wires and things, that shit. If you're unable to have a real, in-depth analysis of it and recognize these patterns and why they keep happening, it's weird, right? That, there's all these social media, but they're all controlled by a very small amount of companies. 5 companies basically control the majority of the social media that all of us use, even though it sounds like there's all these different kinds. I opened the store and look, there's all these different things. They have weird names, and all the time there's new ones, and then new ideas come along. And it's if anything is remotely successful to any extent or degree, one of the bigger companies, or bigger fish, if you will, is so fast in tech. Because tech, it's basically, that's why they pour so much worthless VC into all this garbage. That's why there's so much random things where you're like, why the fuck did that get $16 million? What is it? It just looks at toenails? That's all it does? It just uploads pictures of toenails? Who wants that? $16 million. That's a lot of money. It's kind of wild that would happen. But every now and then there's a Snapchat. Every now and then there's an Instagram where they're people will like to use professional looking filters on their own pictures. That's what we do. That's it. That's the big one. Yeah, we decided that PayPal, people will not want to have to get up to grab credit cards. That if something will skip that for them, that's worth it. That's enough of it. They're willing to put their safety of their credit card information and financial information into the computer, into the cloud. They will do that because they don't have to get up and have to go into the other room to grab their wallet, to grab their credit card. So that PayPal will be successful. And you're like, that's so silly. Whoa, that was so true. Oh yeah, wow, you were right, apt.
Let me ask you about social media. Social.
Oh, sorry. I have to close the thought because it's important. They just want there to be alternative to social media that the libs don't control in their eyes. That's what this all is. The whole we need free speech. What? We need Rumble. We need the Nazi platform. Gab. All of them. We need all of this stuff. Substack. Yeah. Substack chooses Nazis. Substack is Team Nazi. If you didn't follow that story, a whole bunch of prominent writers and journos, because Substack had the gift of having a fuck ton of really talented people. People adopted it. it was something that a lot of journalists and like prestigious ones, not fucking right-wing journalists, not even centrist journalists, of which there is a fuck ton, right? But I'm talking, they got them. This was a mass migration of a huge demographic of journalists and tech writers and stuff, of people who were like, I want to be able to monetize my own writing. I like their system, easy to use. I can publish. I am my own publishing house. I collect a lot of my own money. Substack works for me. And then now they've been like, but Substack, you have a lot of like actual full-on white supremacists, like the Holocaust never happened style, like people who are posting horrifying Nazi shit on your platform. You got to do something about this. Take a stance. What are you going to choose, Substack? The journos? And like the fact that you fucking won the lottery here. Don't do a Tumblr. Don't look at all these beautiful titties and cocks and suddenly be like, you know what? We don't need you. We don't need any of you. No, we'll cast all the cocks away. Be gone, you beautiful penises. No, that was like a death rattle. You can't just turn your back on the very tits that made you. You know, they were the tits that created you. That was the ass that made you, Tumblr. What are we talking about?
When you're on social media, when you're scrolling through TikTok, when you're scrolling through Instagram, when you're looking at nothing but YouTube Shorts, do you feel particularly social? Let me ask you this. Do you often find yourself using social media when you're in a room with the people you love who love you?
This wouldn't even work as like an Onion, or sorry, a Babylon Bee bit that was mocking someone giving a TED Talk. Like, you know, like world's most asinine TED Talk ever. And it's just like, when you use the social media, do you feel social? When you scroll up, do you scroll down? Know what I'm saying? Does it work for you?
You ever leave Instagram or TikTok, any of these places after an hour, and feel better for having done it? It's a genuine question. And it's something that I hear from everyone about on a regular basis. Let me kind of give you an analogy, because this happened to me. Social media, these platforms, this device that is constantly bombarding you, and by the way, collecting your information. It's like
worst slam poetry ever. Does social media socialize you? Am I the one who is true?
Being at a party. You ever been at a party and there's someone there and you have a bunch of your friends, your family, and there's someone who doesn't quite pick up on the social cues and they won't let you go and you want to end the conversation, but you can't because you want to spend time with the people around you who you've come to see? That's the device in your hand. You don't really want to be attached to it, but it won't let you go. Only it's a machine. It's a machine that doesn't care about you. And this is the thing, working in the industry, I know a lot of you use it to stay in touch with families, and great. And these are tools that I absolutely believe are pivotal that you can use going into an election. I just don't believe.
I mean, this is gonna play great, I guess, with the like Facebook boomers, maybe? The whole thing just feels like a promotion for Rumble. I assume that him, the Quartering, and a handful of other people, they've definitely got partnerships with Rumble. Like, you know, percentage co-ownership, they get promotional amounts of money for, you know, obviously consistently trying to push this, like, this is the alternative to big tech, this is it, this is the only way to save us. I mean, Russell Brand basically had to do a whole kind of like, oh, they think I'm a 40 nonce, I'm not a 40 nonce, it's the deep state, it really is. And then it's like, now what, he's on Rumble, and his Rumble, okay, cool.
That's where we are right now, and there needs to be a change of course before we get to the point that there's no turning back. We have to get out of these social media ghettos and the reliance on them. We'll hear this in the industry side. You got to be there. You need more reels. You need more clips. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it if you want to remain relevant, if you want to remain competitive. Competitive for what? Competitive for what? For 10-second views in a timeline where people don't even remember where it came from? Or what they learned or what it meant?
I mean, this is really going to be old man yells at TikTok, I guess. So here's the deal. Everybody go subscribe to the Rumble, go join Mug Club, and I want that passive income. because I don't want to be making too much stuff anymore, because people are mean to me. Even the right are mean to me now. Everyone's mean. They all call me a coward and stuff like that. And apparently I'm some weird sexual predator who loves to put his balls on his coworkers and give them drugs and stuff. So because everyone's being mean, I was thinking, why don't all of you just give me more money and only watch my stuff, but little periods of time, and then don't go on the big bad TikTok and learn about why I put my balls on people against their consent. That would be bad. So don't spend time in other places.
It's very different. You know, they used to say that TV was going to rot your brain. And just to be clear, this show, 20-second daily show, you want to know? Watch the show. This show is a time capsule.
Oh, so you're different. You hit different. I get it. Because I was gonna say, if I go to Steven Crowder, I know you're deeply demonetized on this stuff, but you're still streaming. As of 5 hours ago, you streamed on the YouTubes. Same thing we're watching right now, 2024, hashtag clean slate, 49,000 views, not as crazy as before. Do you have shorts? You do. What? I thought this was rotting the brain. I thought this was how the brain goes into the toilet. What's going on here, buddy?
Now we're like, no, you can't say, doctors are not allowed to say you're obese.
You don't want to body shame anymore. Right.
Body shame? Yeah. That was invented by fat white women in like 2018.
That's real talk. If somebody's able to attach a level of offensiveness, it puts you in peril of being ostracized and alienated.
Oh, I got sued by one of those fat models. Yeah, because the problem is she was out there saying like, this is healthy. I said, no, your blood type's pudding. She's like, that's not healthy. And
is this Crowder code switching? I feel a little hint of it.
she said it caused her irreparable damage mentally. I'm like, no, what's causing irreparable damage is your liver right now trying to keep up with the enzymes that are flowing through your, like it's one thing to be overweight. It's another thing to tell everyone, no, you have to say that.
You hear it, right? It's another thing to tell everyone. He's adding. My boy's code switching.
Everybody is beautiful and healthy. The problem is the lie. The fat pride thing is a big thing.
Crowder, come on. White people don't do that anymore. That it's cringe now. Yeah, no. The Justin Timberlake days are over. You're not being a bigger ally by going faux shiz. Either way, he's lying. That was the point of this. He's lying. He's definitely lying about doing the whole like the shorts and the TikToks. I mean, the reason he's not on TikTok is not because like he thinks the brain is trying to control him. It's because he's banned on TikTok because he's such a horrifying racist ass white supremacist bigot. That's why he's not on a lot of these platforms that destroy the brain. And also, yeah, social media, it's not healthy. Anyone will tell you that. It's been well documented. Again, these aren't new revelations. He's just like everything else. The dude doesn't care about his audience. A lot of right-wingers don't, especially the bigoted ones that are just focused hyper on culture war only, trans people only, LGBTQ plus only, black people, crime rates, native people, poverty. Like those motherfuckers, the majority of them, they don't actually care about their audiences for the most part. Like they're completely fine with audience members dying from COVID while being vaccinated. Like a lot of them, the amount of people who are both vaccinated and also still spreading this like, yeah, the vaccine kills. Yeah, the vaccine will make your brain turn to goo. Sure, I'm happy I'm unvaxxed. All the people are like fucking selling their vaccine cum, alpha studs, all that shit. Yeah, like, well, I don't know if they actually are unvaccinated because like a lot of them are in pictures and places at the time you couldn't gain access or entry to unless you were vaccinated or you worked for a company that demanded all of their staff, yeah, Fox News, get vaccinated. So for Tucker Carlson to just consistently sit there and be like, oh, I know, it's great.
Something happens to me, I would say, show my kids who their father was. Show them the show. But it's a program that's designed with Alex Jones. That'll be going up next week. The algorithm, the artificial machine would tell you, you don't want to see it. I don't agree. You let me
shock. Yeah, okay.
You let the AI know if you want to see it. Do you realize that if I listen to these consultants, if I listen to these firms that exist now to tell you exactly how to profit off of new media content, to be clear, there's a business, and the model is create nothing because it costs money. It costs resources to create.
Okay. God damn it. This is taking so long. We've only watched like 3 minutes. I'm going to speed it up because I assume he's getting past all the whole like 2000 era. Social media is actually, this may shock some of you, bad.
Create something, but profit off of everything. Clip someone else's stuff and distribute it, and hopefully you appeal to the algorithm.
That's exactly what your channel is, bruh. We just looked at it. You literally just take clips from other people. Ugh, Steven Crowder. You lying scumbag. You filthy straight. Look at this shit. If we go shorts, that's not you. That's not you either. Also not you. Okay? This isn't you. That's not you, Steven. This isn't you either. Again, I don't think Hillary was on the show. You're reacting.
In 2016, what in your view would happen if he were to be reelected?
Hillary Clinton tears into Trump with baseless lies.
This is the fundamental problem. Attacking Donald.
And now you're reacting to it. You're doing the thing you're saying is the bad stuff that everyone does.
Let me explain the program, or for example, using these social media platforms as tools.
You rich fucking babies. This dude was offered 50 mil. That's more than most TV radio hosts for like national television are offered. You know, I have no idea what he got from Rumble. It has to be comparable. But so, yeah, for him to sit there and complain about like content creation, it's all for the big machine and the big Wayne is evil and mean to me. It's scary to go on the internet. They say that I'm a fucking sexual assaulter.
You know, when I was a kid, and they would say TV would rot your brain, as an example. But it was different. If you went to a live show, you bought a ticket, you were there, you were sharing.
Yes, old-timey when we had the radio. Really, definitely a different form of media and its pervasiveness into the, like, what, yes, different things are different. Technology is different.
An experience with people. I can remember as a kid, my dad would usually tape it, because it was past my bedtime, staying up with him the next day after watching David Letterman. Or if there was something really funny on Saturday Night Live, he would show me these films that he grew up with. We would sit around and watch it together, and then turn it off. And usually talk about what it was that we watched. And we felt better usually watching something together. It actually did help build community and conversation. Same thing if you radio, you turn it on. DVD, VHS, Blu-ray, whichever one. Maybe you're a Betamax guy. I don't know.
Oh, that was a joke.
Pop it in, you'd watch something, you'd move on. Same thing even when YouTube started out, you subscribed to somebody, you saw the content. And then you could discuss it. That's not what happens now. Who you subscribe to and
I agree. It sucks. All these companies have a complete domination and monopolization over these industries. It should, like, if you're here to talk about how it should be nationalized, that's one thing. If you're like, hey, join me on this new Nazi app that just got built, it's, you know, going to be a little less Nazi than the last one. It's like, well, this isn't the alternative. It's the same shit with Kick, right? Like, there should be alternatives to Twitch. There should be alternatives to YouTube streaming or Facebook streaming. Like, there should be a viable pathway for someone to make something with better technology that might be better for the environment, that might actually collectively help all the content creators on it better. You're singing my language. This sounds beautiful. Let's do this. And it's like, yeah, so this one started by some fucking cryptocurrency gambling guy who wants space, because it's like train wrecks. They got kicked off XQC. He can't do the Gamba streams anymore. So they want to be able to do the Gamba streams. So now we got Kick. It's fun. It's going to pay a lot of money because there's a lot of money in cryptocurrency gambling profits in casinos, especially with the little oversight that what Curacao provides. The gambling licenses in Curacao. That's why everyone moves to Vancouver, Canada to stream so they can do cryptocurrency gambling streams. Hi, Aiden Ross. Fucking XQC. No, XQC's in Quebec, but I think Trainwreck's moved to Vancouver. I've never seen him here, by the way.
But you say you want to. There's nothing wrong with consuming media. There's something really wrong with the biggest corporations that have ever existed, more powerful than governments, building their business model off of your inability to turn it off. And then you have the inability
Stephen.
to teach people truth from fiction. And then you have to get into this rat race like we've talked about. You feel like a hamster on a wheel? Yeah, because you got it. I got to know what's going on. I got to know what's going on. Hey, do me a favor.
So basically, we got, what would you even classify that? Tech populism? You know, it's going to be populism. So maybe like new, spelt with a U, new pop, right? It's going to be populism, the same kind that you get from a Tucker Carlson. But instead of saying that like, hey, by the way, it's the globalists that control the world and they won't let you talk about that on the lamestream media because it's controlled by the sheeple, all that kind of stuff. Well, now it's like, hey, well, big tech, it's actually really bad for you. And these algorithms are just trying to keep you on their platforms as long as possible and angry. And everyone complains about how bad they feel after using social media devices and stuff like that. So that's why you got to stick on Rumble and Gab and whatever the other one is, you know, fucking Clanhood Slurm, whatever. That's the whole bit here. It's not anything new.
That you consume and who you are based on things that you were posting in maybe 2009 when the platform was entirely different from what it is now.
You've got a website. Louder.
We're not saying delete everything. We're saying delete the content so that you can start fresh. And if enough of you do this, it'll throw their algorithms for a loop. And you can just start with a clean slate.
It's to send everybody to his fucking new account on Rumble. That's the, okay. So yeah, start to finish. Okay, so let's go to the official website here. 2024, hashtag clean slate. Hashtag clean slate. You get to watch the same video that you were all doing that. There's a program called Redact where you can mass delete all your posts. You can download it at redact.dev. Not here to show on Redact, all right? If you want to clean your social media history, you should have the power to do so. Go forth and clean. But he wants you to get rid of Instagram. He's not allowed on Instagram. Delete Facebook. I don't know if he had a really good presence on Facebook, but either way, neither here nor there. But notice, oh, and delete Twitter, right? There's a program called Redact. You can download it here. So delete Twitter, delete Instagram, delete Facebook, and keep Rumble. In fact, why don't we harmonize everything onto Rumble? All of you can stop using all other social media, send them for a spin. You'll really fucking give it to the algorithm. Give it to those coastal liberal elites, by the way. All those fucking San Francisco rich liberal gays who are programming and those furries who basically power the internet. Fuck them all right? You can really fuck up their lives if you all just subscribe to my proprietary website, nrumble.com. Get all your content from my website, nrumble.com, and then just stick to that and clean slate. We'll all do it together. It's like delete. This is a big ask for your entire audience and fan base, by the way, right? Like, it's pretty extreme. I don't think I've seen a right-winger yet come out and specifically be like, all right, so to be a fan, you know, of the Serfs, you like the show. You all do. Some of you even subbed. I mean, thanks to you, we have this gay lighting in the background. It's extra gay. Bisexual. Yeah, you don't have to make a choice. You can like girls and you can like boys. That's up to you, thanks to this lighting. And now, as a part of this, I should also add that, hey, hashtag clean slate. I'm going to need you to delete all your social medias. All of it. What's that you say? Some of it you use for work, not anymore, because the big brain will control you. You don't want that, right? So I'm going to need you to delete your Instagram. I'm going to need you to delete your Twitter. Need you to delete your LinkedIn. No resumes online. The big brain will use it or something. It's gay, I guess. Either way, get out there and clean slate. Clean slate. Also, all of you are going to need to come to theserfs.com, theserfs.tv, weareserfs.com, youtube.com/theserfstv, youtube.com/theserf Times. Check out Mind Explosion as well. That's basically the only internet you should consume from here on out. Don't watch anyone else. They're trying to put the evil stuff inside you. The bad, no. I have the good. So if you want the good, you got to go to those sites exclusively, and also give me the monies, and also go to the Patreon, patreon.com/theserfs, so you can get the good. That's the unadulterated good right into your veins. You'll love it. It's going to be awesome. All right. So if you hadn't seen this, Wired. Rumble is part of an active and ongoing SEC investigation. The SEC confirmed to Wired that the financial regulator has launched an investigation involving Rumble, a quote free speech video platform. The nature of the probe remains unknown. So it could be a sexy probe. We're not entirely sure, but it is going to parts unknown. It could be delicious, could be terrible. We'll find out. Will it have anything to do with their perhaps dramatically inflated view count stuff? The stuff that like even someone who isn't trying to do an investigation was able to find out? Jose, if you go to Jose's channel, he's got a video on Rumble where he's like, I just want to just see how the whole Rumble thing works, and it's definitely inflating views a lot. Something's wrong here. Like it doesn't make any sense, right? Maybe we'll do a Leftist Mafia stream on Rumble one day to see if we can really get those rookie numbers up. Rumble, the so-called free speech alternative to YouTube, is the subject of an investigation by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, according to the company in a letter from the SEC. The SEC has confirmed its investigation involving Rumble in response to a public records request that Wired filed in November seeking documents related to the company. The agency denied Wired's request on the grounds that the related documents were part of an active and ongoing investigation, and the confirmation of the probe follows public allegations that Rumble inflated key user metrics, which the company denies. Yeah, I mean, it's a publicly traded company as well. So if you are someone pouring your money into Rumble and doing it, hoping that like, well, I wanna make sure that I get, you know, my views, and I want to see that kind of stuff. So, oh, this is the 1 day. What is that? 5 day? Ooh, it's not great for the 5 day. Yeah, down 14% over the last 5. Well, 1 month. Down 17% the past month. Seems to be getting kind of worse as I go on. 17% ain't great. Well, 6 months is fine, right? Negative 56.91 over 6 months. That's not good. Well, we could go a little further. Maybe the 1 year. Holy shit. Down 58% in 1 year. That wasn't a bit. I didn't know this ahead of time. This wasn't me like, oh shit, if you do this, like, no, I had no idea. But I do know, like, the worst part is when you get people like Matt Walsh, and he's like, hey, we've done this really effective boycott. We did it, comrades. We really stuck it to this beer company, Bud Light. Yeah, we boycotted them. We shot up the cans after we bought them, and we made people real scared. And trans kids are real scared now. We did it, everyone. We're heroes. Yeah, good job. I was like, well, if you look at Anheuser-Busch, if you're talking about this little period here, like a month ago, yeah, there's a significant dip. You could say that dip was in part due to a market response and maybe some of your canvassing or something. If we look at a 1 year, like a full year, what the value is, it's more valuable now than it was a year ago. The company, the shares, you did nothing. You had no effect. It's not only having the opposite of what you asked for, but like everyone's laughing at you now.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Can you please hit the like and subscribe button and maybe leave a comment? It really does help the videos out. But first, the people who produce everything you see before you and make this entire channel possible: Amazing Fletch, Anna Loves Riley, Ariane McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Multimondi, Omni, Peanut Butter Blondie, Political Puppy, Quiet 185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Ruby K, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian DeMel, Trevbot.exe, Words Greenwood, and Travis McClinton. And also, thank you to every other person who helps fund this show. Their names are on the screen right now. It would not be possible without every single one of them. We cannot thank you enough. And if you want to join the Patreon, please come to patreon.com/theserfs and help us exist.